Now, it shows the case we're resolving here. Is it 2020 0D02110? Right. There's also another 2022 case. Are we resolving that one? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're resolving both cases against Mr. Gamero. All right, very good. All right. Oops. Okay, so we're here this afternoon in cause 2020 0D02110 and 2022 0D03047, the state of Texas versus Roberto Brian Gamero. And is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, sir.
And do you recognize your attorney there, Mr. Avalar?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Avalar, you recognize your client, Mr. Gamero?
Yes, sir.
And so this is a plea agreement case. So do you have, if you'd like to state the plea agreement on the record, Ms. Espinosa?
Yes, Your Honor. Under both cause numbers, he's pleading to the lesser included offense of assault causes bodily injury. And I believe it's to 180 days in the county jail. Yes, to run concurrent.
180 days. County jail. Concurrent. Let me look here. He has, okay, so that'll be basically a time served plea, is that right?
Correct.
Because I see that it's either at 180 or a little over.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So now, is that your understanding of the plea agreement, Mr. Avalar?
Yes, sir, it is.
Is it also your understanding of the plea agreement, Mr. Gamero?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you understand the plea agreement is not it's not absolutely binding upon me, but should I choose not to follow it, should I choose to be harsher than that, you could withdraw your plea and we could proceed to a trial on these matters at a later date. But if I follow the plea agreements, they are final. You cannot withdraw your pleas. You cannot appeal these cases without my consent. And these would appear as convictions on your record. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now we have in front of us some documents marked States Exhibit 1, the guilty plea and guilt and waiver forms. They bear the signature of your attorney, the state's attorney, and what appears to be your signature. Did you in fact sign these documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you let's see, did you read the documents before you signed them?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you were reading and signing?
Yes, sir.
Did your attorney further explain to you the meaning of the documents?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any question about their meaning?
No, sir.
So if there's never any question, let me briefly explain to you what they mean. Primarily two things. First, you're coming into court telling me through a judicial confession, yes, Judge, I did commit both of these offenses, the lesser included of both of these offenses, a Class A assault. And it further means that you're giving up some valuable rights here today. The most important of those rights, the right to a trial by jury. Do you fully understand that?
Yes, sir.
Understanding that, then how do you plead to both of these lesser included offenses of assault, Class A misdemeanor, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, sir.
Entering your pleas of guilty freely and voluntarily.
Yes, sir.
Did anybody force you, threaten you, coerce you, or in any way make you plead guilty?
No, sir.
Did anybody promise you anything or persuade you in such a manner you felt you had to plead guilty other than the plea agreement stated on the record in open court here this afternoon?
No, sir.
Now you understand that the potential punishment for these offenses from 1 day to 1 year in the county jail, a fine not to exceed $4,000. You understand I'll sentence you somewhere within those general guidelines.
Yes, sir.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
And how old are you, sir?
32.
How far did you go in school?
I went to college, Barber College. I got my GD. I
And so you
completed a year and a half of college.
And so you can certainly read and write the English language.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever been under the care of a psychiatrist or psychologist for mental health, mental illness issues?
No, sir.
Suffered any serious head injuries?
No, sir.
Are you presently under any medications for mental health or mental illness issues?
No, sir.
Okay. And you're telling me you are mentally competent, you understand everything that's going on here this afternoon.
Yes, sir.
And now, counsel, you've had time to go over the facts, circumstances of these cases, the legal aspects of the cases, and had time to evaluate your client's mental status.
Yes, sir.
And based on all that, you're representing to me that you believe he is mentally competent to enter these pleas.
Yes, sir.
Then based on your representations, Mr. Gamero, your representation, Mr. Avilar, and the court's observations of you in court, both here today and prior occasions, Mr. Gamero, find that you're competent to enter these pleas. State may summarize the evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, had the state proceeded to trial in this case, the state would have proven beyond a reasonable doubt each and every element in the lesser included offenses of assault causes bodily injury. The state moves to introduce state's exhibits 1 through 2, which are the plea papers and the 3914 disclosure forms.
No objection.
Received. Based on the evidence before the court, well, the court finds the evidence sufficient to find the defendant guilty of the lesser included offenses of Class A assault, and I so find. Before I proceed on sentencing, you did have time to go over these recommendations with the complainants in these cases, Ms. Espinosa,
Yes, Your Honor.
and they were satisfactory. They were okay with these dispositions.
Yes, Judge, there were several, and a few of them actually we lost contact with, which is the reason for the recommendation.
Okay, but you still had some left, so
Yes, Your Honor. They were aware, they were notified.
okay. All right, Mr. Gamero, when you get out, what are your plans?
Get back to work at the barber shop and just be a father to my kids. And just keep working.
And you are married, or
Yes, sir.
and how many children do you have?
3.
And how old are they?
My son's a year and 3 months. He's a baby, and then my son's about to be 4. My daughter's just turned 7 in December.
And wait, what happened? Can you all hear me?
Loud and clear, Judge.
Maybe I can't. For some reason, I can't see you all.
Can you hear us, Judge?
I can hear you.
We can see you, Judge.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
There. Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. Okay. So now. All right, well, I will follow the recommendation, and it'll be a time served, 180 days in the county jail, and I hope you get back with your family there and are able to get doing well and don't have any other problems with the law.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Have a good day, sir.
You too. All
Thank
right,
you. May I be excused, Your Honor?
you may.
So much,
Let's
Your Honor.
proceed now with Mr. Shine next. I guess we're gonna go, or is it, or who do we have here? Is it Mr. Shine or Mr.
Yes, sir.
Castillo? What?
Mr. Mel Steve Shine, sir. How you doing?
Good. Okay, so let's talk to Mel Steve Shine. I believe that's the one with one of them with Mr. Caballero today.
Yes, Judge. And Your Honor, if I may just address Mr. Schein very briefly, there's a new charge that he was just booked on, and that's not being addressed today.
What, is that a misdemeanor or what is that?
It's a misdemeanor, Judge. It's still a P file also.
Okay, well, they'll probably be able to resolve that fairly quickly then once this is resolved.
Yeah, Mr. Schein, we'll have to address it next week, okay? Because we can't do anything about it this week.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so now these are cause numbers, or they were cause numbers 2022 0D01197 and 2022 0D02475, the state of Texas versus Mel Steve Shine. That is your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, sir. Mel Steve Shine. Yes, sir. That's my full name.
Okay, and you recognize your attorney there, Mr. Caballero?
Yes, I sure do.
And Mr. Caballero, you recognize your client, Mr. Shine?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, then, Ms. Espinosa, if you would state the plea agreement on the record?
Yes, Your Honor, but I would like to make the court, inform the court that the new charge, I guess, if you recall, Mr. Shine was a no-show to our last few hearings, and apparently he has picked up an assault causes bodily injury of a family member. And that was February 5th of this year, which is a misdemeanor. However, today I am dismissing another assault causes bodily injury, and I believe it's against his spouse. And that's 2022 0D02475. And he's pleading to 2 years deferred on the burglary of building.
Okay, so what you're dismissing is the 2475 case,
Yes, Your Honor.
but he's pleading to the 2022 1197,
Correct, Your Honor. 2 years deferred.
which is the burglary of the building. Got it. And it's, what is it now, 2 years deferred?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's a probated sentence. Got it.
And no contact, obviously, with the store that he's accused of burglarizing.
You
Getting
don't go to that store anymore, Mr. Shine.
I will not buy cigarettes there. I will never get cigarettes again. Yes, sir.
You can't go near there again, okay, Mr. Schein?
Yes, sir. I'm not going anywhere near that area. I don't go to college there. I am not in Hawkins at all. I never go down North Loop.
Okay, so now that is your understanding of the plea agreement then, Mr. Caballero?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that is your understanding of the plea agreement, Mr. Shine?
Yes, sir. I do understand. This whole thing was just over a pack of cigarettes, and yes, sir. I will never go back there.
Very good. So now, we have in front of us some documents marked State's Exhibit 1, the guilty plea and waiver forms in this case. They bear the signature of your attorney, the state's attorney, and what appears to be your signature. Did you in fact sign these documents?
Yes, sir. I sure did.
And did you read them before you signed them?
Yes, sir. I read the terms of that it's going to be per day. That if I do the warrant, if I do the probation, that it will be off my record. And yes, sir, I understand it.
All right. And so you understand all of that.
Yes, sir.
Now, understanding that, how do you plead then to this charge, guilty or not guilty?
If you would consider, Your Honor, I would like to plead no contest. Just take what I have to take, and I will make everything happen. I accept my charge, and I do feel bad about the cigarettes. I will never do it again.
Okay, excuse me. I can't see. Again, I've lost Michelle.
No contest on the charge. It's not guilty or not guilty. It's just no contest. I'm accepting the plea and I'm taking it.
Okay, sorry, I lost.
Mhm.
I couldn't see you all again. Well, let's see. I don't usually accept no contest pleas. I either accept guilty pleas or not guilty pleas. I do one or the other.
All right, sir. I mean, however, I would complete guilty. I'm going to complete the probation so I can get out of this situation.
All right. Now, are you pleading guilty though freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir, I am.
No, nobody forced you or threatened you to plead guilty.
No, sir. Nobody's forcing me.
Okay, and nobody's promised you anything in
No, sir.
exchange for your plea of guilty other than what's been put on the record about the probation.
Yes, sir.
That's all. Okay. Now, how old are you, Mr. Shine?
44.
How far did you go in school?
I went to college, sir. Graduated.
And so you can certainly read and write the English language.
Yes, sir. I sure can, sir.
And are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir. I sure am. I was born abroad. I was born in Mexico. My father took me to the American consulate, and that's how I became the American born abroad.
Okay. All right. Have you ever been under the care of a psychiatrist or psychologist for mental health, mental illness issues?
No, sir, I have not. I've had I went to college. I've never had an issue. All of a sudden, I ran into a situation where my money came to a tight end, and yes, I've been having a lot of issues without that. So I'm trying to get back to work. I'm trying to feed my kids, and I'm trying to get back to a normal life.
Okay. Are you presently under any medications for mental health, mental illness issues?
I never had anything like that. All I had was pain, like sleep medicine. That's about it. That I just have a hard time, I guess, with the concussions to go to sleep, and that's what makes it even worse.
So you have had you've had some serious head injuries?
I was dropped on my head. I don't know if you remember. I've been dropped that a couple of times on my head, and it's not the lightest thing. I've been having a lot of medical problems because of it. I can't explain them. I just know the fact that my head just shuts down.
But now, are you telling me that you're mentally competent, though you understand everything that's going on?
Yes, sir. I surely do. I just unfortunately, we all have moments in our lives that we just wish never happened.
All right. Now, Mr. Caballero, you've had time to go over the facts, circumstances of these cases and the legal aspects, and you've had time to evaluate your client's mental status.
Yes, I have, Your Honor, and based on my interactions and discussions with him, I believe he's competent.
Okay. Well, based on your representations, Mr. Caballero, and also based on Mr. Shine's representations and the court's observations of him in court here today, I find that he is competent to enter this plea. The state may summarize the evidence.
Yes, Your Honor, had the state proceeded to trial in this case, the state would have proven beyond a reasonable doubt each and every element in the offense of burglary of building as alleged in the indictment. The state moves to introduce State's Exhibits 1 through 2, which are the plea papers and the 3914 disclosure form.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, the court finds the evidence is sufficient to find him guilty, but I am not finding you guilty, Mr. Shine. Okay. I'm going to wait until some later date, whether it's 2 years or sometime less than that. If you successfully complete the probation, as you so stated, then the case against you is dismissed and there will never be a finding of guilt. You understand that?
Yes, sir. I surely do. I thank you for the
Okay.
opportunity.
And however, if you don't do what you're supposed to do and you commit other offenses or you stop reporting, then the court could have you brought back before it. And if I found that you had violated your probation, I could revoke that probation. I could sentence you, I guess, all the way up to 2 years in the state jail. You understand that?
Yes, sir. I sure do.
Okay. Now, so understanding all that, you still want me to grant your motion for deferred adjudication.
Please, if you would consider.
Now, when you get out, what are your plans, Mr. Shine?
Just continue working construction and steadily keeping money so that I can feed my kids and try to keep off these streets as well. I just know that financially I've been very hard to come across money, and that's been my main issue.
Are you going to have a place to live?
You know what, Your Honor, that right there, my doors have been getting shut down in my face. I'm thinking going back to my family would be the key, but I don't know what would you consider to be the proper way of doing this. I'm tired of guessing. I don't need the extra problems. All I'm trying to do is just get things right.
All right. Well, Mr. Caballero, have you got some kind of safety plan in place for him when he goes on probation here? So that he can get some, you'll have some place to reside?
Thank you.
Your Honor, he recently has a protective order in place, so he can't go back to live at home. That's the new charge. He did say when I spoke to him last week that he could stay with his sister. However, it seems like that's not going to work either. He's still going to remain in custody until the misdemeanor can get resolved. He doesn't have I believe it's $4,000 on that bond. We're gonna make sure, I'm gonna make sure that he has a place to go, and he continues on and follows up with mental health treatment. Like you mentioned earlier, he hasn't really been linked to services, and he really needs that to see if there's any ongoing issues.
Okay, very good. Hold
And-
on just a minute. Can I,
Yes, sir.
hang on a minute.
Yes.
Michelle, I can't get this thing to